Tess, we come back where we left you. In the Oasis, at a table, having been left by Nathan Fortuna with a young girl called Clementine, who you now realize is a human, a kind who has possibly no knowledge of Kindred, or maybe some knowledge of Kindred. She doesn't seem to be ghouled from what Nathan said, and she's kind of under no one's jurisdiction. This is kind of a problem because there's still Kindred about the place. No one is really paying attention to you currently. Incidentally, at this point, I feel like you might have switched off your oar, because I know you came in, you came in rocking it, but I feel like for once, Tess doesn't want everyone looking at her because of the current situation.
I think the minute Clementine was told to stay and I realized that she was actually staying, I would have just been like, oh, and then all would have turned off.
Yeah, like
a burnt out light bulb.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
So.
Okay.
Now the question is...
I've gotten out from under her lap.
Yes. And you've been debating what to do next.
Nobody else is around to look at this, really. I'm just kind of looking at her, and I'm kind of like snapping in front of her face to start.
Yeah, she's like very almost swaying, just kind of like a little bit back and forth with the head, and her eyes are very glazed over. And you recall she was a little bit like that in the meeting as well?
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want her to like snap out of it right yet. So I'm going to see if she'll come with me first. If I can like.
If you can kind of take her hand or something and like lead her
away.
Away. She was told to stay. So when you try that, there's like resistance.
She won't move.
There's resistance there. However, like if you'd like, you can try your more. Like you can try more strength and try to be a bit more forceful. It would make a scene most likely, however.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You don't know what her reaction would be, either.
You know what? We're gonna start this right off because if she's not gonna move, I'm just straight up gonna try and transmit. Like, I may as well just try to like get her out from his control and into mine so that I can at least move her out from this, like even though I know that it's like she's already been like overly kind of like.
Oh, incidentally, when you go to drag her, you do notice like in like the little pocket in one of her like jacket bits is like a little card that's she doesn't try and do anything when you take the card. It just says like, if lost, please contact Nathan Fortuna number. Thank you.
I hate this man. Oh my gosh.
This is understandable.
How was I so excited to meet him and then he ends up having a human fetish? I just I'll pocket the card myself.
Okay.
And yeah, then I'm gonna try and transmit. Or I'm gonna at least like try to like kind of see if she'll recognize my own shit here.
Okay. In that case, I
think I have to do a rouse check.
Entrancement, I believe it's charisma and your presence.
Yeah, charisma and discipline.
And I do also believe it is, yes, a rouse check.
Okay, so let me do the rouse check first.
Let me also quickly pull up.
I do get hungrier.
Okay.
And then I'll roll the charisma discipline here. Okay. Which is a 4.
Right. Okay. And technically speaking, it is versus composure wits. However, I can tell you that you are actually versus someone else's entrancement currently.
Can I re-roll some of these?
You absolutely can. However,
because I don't want to lose.
Keep in mind, during a snack shot, you have one reroll only.
Oh, fuck. Okay, no, then I'm gonna... I don't know how strong he is.
You're pretty strong.
Okay.
Okay.
I win.
You win.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, does it do anything?
What is your intention with your entrancement? Basically, what it does is you gain the subject's attention and win a contest of charisma plus presence. The effect lasts for roughly 1 hour plus 1 per point of margin on the win. You can renew the
5
effect.
hours.
Yeah, basically she's now gonna listen to you over Nathan Fortuna.
Oh.
She is still currently in the... Like, if you said to her, like, snap out of it, she would snap out of it.
Okay. I want to... If I see now that I've kind of gotten her attention, I want to say... I want to try something. Just gonna stand up.
She kind of stands up.
Follow me. And... I'm gonna start kind of walking.
Click of her heels as she starts, like, filing behind you.
Yeah, okay. And as we get outside, I guess I can probably get to my car.
Yeah.
Just be like, get in the car. Passenger seat.
She opens the door, like slides in, closes the door behind her.
With seatbelt, please.
Seatbelt on. Chrys would be proud.
She's just such a rag doll. Like.
Yep.
Oh. All right, so I'm gonna drive. Oh God. I'm gonna drive to the like where the front is, kind of.
Okay.
And just towards like the river or something, just away from stuff. And once we kind of get there, I just want to sit her down if it's quiet enough and sit her down like on a park bench or something and just like look at her and be like, okay. What is your name?
Clementine.
Good. Okay. Actually, answer questions. Who was it that you were with?
You.
Previously, before me.
Nathan.
What is Nathan to you?
He's my friend.
Okay. How long have you known Nathan?
A few days.
And how did you meet?
Chat room. I was feeling sad and lonely and a bit depressed. And he said he could make me feel better. And he did.
Do you feel better now?
Yes. He told me to be happy.
Why were you sad before? I'm gonna regret asking that.
My parents split up. My boyfriend left me. And no one would talk to me. I just ended up by myself, just feeling all alone. And I didn't feel like anyone cared. But now I know that Nathan does.
Nathan doesn't care about you.
Like, her face stays completely blank, but a tear starts to well and then, like, slowly goes down the side of her cheek.
But I can tell you that I care more about your well-being than he does.
I believe you.
Do you actually believe me?
Yes. It's a sticky wicket.
So fucking different. I'm like sitting here and I'm like, this is like chess. This is emotional chess right now, and I'm trying real hard to not fuck things up. Do you know what Nathan is?
Yes.
What is he?
He's my friend.
Do you know what he does for work?
He runs businesses, a few clubs.
Has he ever hurt you?
No?
Do you think he would ever hurt you?
No, he said he wouldn't. I think you can probably tell at this point that, like, you've like kind of overwritten the enchantment, the entrancement, but
she's still like dedicated to him.
It's
like,
layered in there, and he's been keeping it going for like at least a few days.
Yeah.
So like you can rip away those layers. It's almost like taking away programming at this point.
It's basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to deconstruct some of the things bit by bit without doing so much of a shock and breaking the masquerade. Because if she doesn't know that he's a vampire, I don't want her to suddenly, you know, I don't want to break the masquerade. That's like the one thing.
The problem you have at this point is she doesn't lose her memories.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to.
So like if you take away the programming, and this is something you'd know because you understand, you've been messing around with entrancement for a while. None of this takes away memories. Like that's something that Mac can do. That's something that Marlowe is probably can do. But you don't have any domain over that. So yeah. if you take everything away and she's just the regular person she used to be, everything that she's experienced since Nathan started.
Oh fuck! Which means she's gonna remember being bitten and shit.
The meeting.
There you go. What are you doing? Sorry, hold on. I'm just gonna throw this. Go on. Good boy. Oh, if only she were a little bit more like a cat. Okay.
So yeah,
she's got to still stay under someone's control. Fuck me. Okay. What do you do for work?
I was fired. I worked at a PR firm for a while. Assistant, mostly. They were training me to take a proper job, but I started drinking and they let me go.
That's tough. I know what it's like to have parents split up, not feel like you have anyone. I could get you another job. Probably one that is a little bit more secure. I'm opening up a club. I will need PR. And I will definitely need somebody to help run stuff behind the scenes. How about you come work for me?
Okay.
Now, how do I, okay, so now I'm trying to think here. It's like, I got her out from Nathan.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sure.
From what I can see right now, just like my biggest issue right now is her memory. Oh my god, do I have to turn this bitch? What are my options here? Holy fucking okay, okay. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go through my options here.
Okay.
So I could turn her, and then, you know, I've sired a kindred, which I don't think is a good idea.
I don't think Tess wants to, and I don't think it would be good for her, and...
No. Hell no. Okay. I could kill her, but then that's like morally against everything that Tess stands for.
Yeah, she
I
likes
could
humanity.
continue to ghoul her.
That would also probably go against Tess's...
Yeah.
Probably, like, I don't believe it's against her... Let me take a look at her convictions. I don't think it's in her character yet.
And not yet, no.
Not to humans. Like, she'd do it to certain kindreds, I think. You know, like, blood bond them.
Yeah. So, it's not really in my convictions or anything.
It is in the character, though.
But it is in my character.
Yeah.
So, do I have any other options?
Yeah. Not good options, but...
I could return her to Nathan. Or I could give her to Gimlet. Oh, God.
The problem's always going to be when the entrancement runs out.
Yeah.
Because it will eventually run out. And then she's going to have all this knowledge, and there's no control over her at that point. You've kind of been put in a position where if you free her, then it creates, like, your at this current point in time, where Nathan left her, it wasn't a breach of the masquerade because there was no, like, it's arguable, but it's a kind of, like, it's kind of messed up situation because he basically left her to be eaten by Kindred, which means it's not a breach of the masquerade because she never had a chance to, like, breach the masquerade.
Mm-hmm.
If you now say, you know, everything Nathan told you was wrong and a lie, I really, you know, you let the entrancement run out, she's going to be a human out in the world with knowledge. And no control.
And she's going to sound crazy or whatever, or someone's going to take her out anyway.
Or someone's going to believe her, like the Inquisition would, you know, if someone starts blogging.
Yeah, those assholes are around too.
Maybe.
Not that I know that in character, but...
No, and well, you do know that they're, like, London's fucked, and that's nearby, so...
I'm gonna call Nathan Fortuna.
Okay. Get your phone out. Dial the digits. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Hello?
Nathan. It's Tess.
Tess! Hello? How are you proceeding with my night's entertainment?
Poorly, considering I don't think... I think you might be slightly more entertained than I am. Which is alright. It's alright to have different tastes. What are you planning on doing with her? If I return her to you.
Oh, you know, I'll keep her around for a while. Then either maybe give her to someone to be ghouled, or have her become a kindred.
Would you sire her?
Sure. I've been considering it. She's quite fun. Plus, there's no other real option aside from killing her myself, and I don't feel any particular need in the moment to do that. What are you thinking about doing with her?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew, Nathan. I really did. I've never been put in this situation before. It's a real conundrum.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. Not one I would choose to put myself in again, but interesting nonetheless.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Why did you attempt to help her? Why do you care?
If I'm being honest, I didn't ask to be a kindred.
Right.
And I mean, I had a pretty good life before I became a kindred. Now, I know that may not be the case with her, but I think she could have, because I don't think there's much going back at this point. She could have recovered from whatever stresses of the world that she would have had and then gone on with her life and been none the wiser.
Already an option now.
No.
But
No.
what I mean more is, she's nobody to you. You've never met her before, you don't know her. Why care?
Why care about anyone?
Good question.
I don't know. I guess I just saw, I don't know, maybe a path that I could have gone down that I might not have wanted to be put down. Or a similar type of path. Some kind of sympathy. Gross, right?
Sounds kind of selfish. I like it.
I've been told I am a little selfish, so.
Humans are selfish.
Kindred are selfish.
Everyone's selfish.
Well, I suppose.
So what's the plan? Are you gonna bring her back? Are you going to kill her? I did wonder if you'd turn her.
No, I got enough on my plate. I don't need a baby kindred running around with me as their sire. If you turn her, she can come work for me.
Interesting. All of the fun, none of the responsibilities.
No. Have you sired someone before? Actually,
Yes.
that's really the question.
I have. Do you know how to do
So-
it?
No, and I don't think I'm at the point where I really can yet.
Would you like to know?
Sure, knowledge is power, I guess.
I am at one of my clubs. Would you like to bring her along? It's one of the things we probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, electronically, I'm not too worried, but there are some things that should not be said.
As long as you don't give me a live demonstration, I should be fine.
I promise you, I will not do it in front of you.
It's very specific wording, Nathan. I'll be there in a bit.
Toodles.
Send me location.
And message comes through. It's one of his clubs. Well, it's more of a bar. It says 28th and blah 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 blah. Roof.
All right, I'll go up there.
Okay. So you head to the bar, and I think probably the bouncer will recognize Clementine, and he's been told to, like, let you in, and he says, just inside, there's some stairs, takes you up to the roof.
Thank you. Come on, Clementine.
And she's...
Walk upstairs.
Yep, she's still under the entrancement, and,
Get up there.
And you open the door, there's kind of like a traditional, like, you know, paved roof, if you know what I mean. Like, it's got some, it's got some, like, a little bit of covering at the side, like some benches. Like, no one's up there at the moment. This area is currently closed off. But Nathan's there. It's got a couple of those, like, heat lamps that they have around tables and stuff. And he gives you a wide smile, both to yourself and to Clementine. Welcome!
Thank you. Fancy face you got here.
One of many.
I'm sure.
And he's kind of like sitting in like a kind of reclined wooden slat chair by one of the tables. Come and sit. Clementine. Come and sit. And
I'll just wait.
Yeah, she doesn't respond. Would you mind?
Yeah. Clementine, please. Go sit.
She goes and sits down, like, kind of at the table. And would you like to sit as well?
Yeah, I'll probably stand behind the chair for a bit and then I'll sit down and just kind of look at him.
Incidentally, there's not much on the table. There's like a little potted plant type thing and maybe like one of those tiny candle things, which is just, it doesn't affect the light. It's just there for, you know, oh, look how fancy we are. We have candles.
Is it a bar, like, upstairs?
It's more of like a, you know, some bars and pubs have like relaxation areas where people can sit outside and converse and...
Yeah. So there's no like...
There's no bar or anything.
Okay. I was gonna... Oh, okay.
You gonna order a drink?
I was gonna make Clementine make the drink, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay.
And there's like a one of those like little walkie-talkies type things that's sitting on the table.
So you're not gonna do it in front of me, but I'm gonna have to hear it when you take her.
It's one of the options we have, given the current circumstances.
Can you not just describe it to me?
Oh, no, I'm not going to turn her. Not now. Don't worry. You don't have to hear it or anything. I'll just tell you how it works.
So what's the walkie-talkie?
This is for downstairs. If we want a drink or something, I can radio down and...
Okay. Can I... is there an insight check or something I can do to that to see if I think he's lying?
Sure. What's inside?
3.
Seems to be telling the truth.
Okay. All right. Well. How does it work?
Would you like a drink?
If you're having one, then sure.
Wonderful. Click, and it's like, shh. Marlon, let's get You know what? I'll have a Dirty Mary. Bring up a Diet Coke, just ice, etc. And, is there anything you want?
I don't know. Make it a Bellini or something.
I don't know what that is. Cheap dog doesn't.
Oh, it's like a peach fucking breezy type thing. I don't know.
And a Bellini, please. Thank you. And the voice comes across. Yes, sir. 5 minutes. So, yes. The act of turning into a kindred. Pretty simple, not too much to it. Basically, they have to be dying and close to death. Usually, you drink them until you know. Have you ever taken someone right to the edge? That exquisite moment where death is on your lips.
I try not to get that.
Well, you take them to there. And then you have them, much like when you ghoul a coin, you have them drink your blood. And then when they die, they return as one of us. In simple terms. Takes a little bit of time. It's not instantaneous. Maybe store them somewhere for a day or a night.
Right, yeah. Okay. How many people have you sired?
It's a very personal question. How many people have you sired?
None.
Well, I guess
I'm
if you
curious.
didn't know how to, then it would be difficult.
Wouldn't it?
Just a couple. They're not with
Why
us
would
anymore.
someone sire? They're not. I'm sorry. What?
They're not with us anymore.
What do you mean?
They're finally dead.
Didn't make the cut?
They were extremely unlucky.
Now, is that, and forgive my, I suppose my candor or whatnot, but is that more of an absentee father type situation, or they simply met a different unlucky end?
I didn't really have any fatherly duties. They asked for the favor, and I acquiesced. It was their own fault they got killed. I had nothing to do with them after I turned them.
Difficult for a new kindred out in the world.
They were very aware of what they were asking for and what they wanted it for. They just were not circumspect. And then at that point, like, the door opens and like a waiter comes forward. He's got like a bow tie and like a waistcoat and etc. Got like a tray and lays it down.
Thank you.
And then he goes off as well. So. And Nathan like reaches forward. The drink is kind of like a dirty grey. It does not look great, but he picks it up and starts sipping it.
What's even in that?
I've never asked.
Cheers.
To your health.
And to yours. You know, Nathan, I had a lot of... I guess I was wondering what you'd be like when we finally met.
Really?
Yeah, I had heard through the grapevine. You know, I'm always curious about folks of similar dispositions as to mine. I'm always intrigued.
Well, how do I stand up to your expectations?
A lot different than I expected, for sure.
I
Definitely a little
lot.
bit more reckless than I anticipated, but much more business sense, which, as a business person, I can
Well,
definitely appreciate.
my business allows me to entertain my fancies.
And those fancies are human?
I think this is something that everyone knows at this point, because I don't make a secret of it. I love humanity. Humanity is beautiful.
It is.
I don't really like Kindred.
Honestly, I don't blame you.
Why do you dislike Kindred?
Consider bad first few impressions, egos.
What exact, like, let's get specific here. What exactly about Kindred is it that you dislike?
I suppose the sense of entitlement.
Humanity is exactly the same. I find that beautiful.
It's a little different. There's entitlement that comes with power.
Yes,
humans have some kind of
there
power.
are never humans who feel entitled to power.
No. Oh, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, as a kindred, it's very easy to forget your former humanity.
Isn't that a bit silly?
It is.
No, I mean, isn't it silly to expect monsters to try and stay human? See, what I hate about Kindred is that they either become just slovenly beasts who sit in the sewers and basically become rats, or they keep trying to fight that dark, depraved monster that bubbles inside them. And they have to try and, for whatever reason, they need to try and be human when they're not anymore. I find it repellent to keep trying to be good, trying to be an upstanding human when you're no longer. Which is why I find humanity so beautiful and fascinating, because they don't have to try and keep up appearances they don't have to try and be good, because otherwise they'll become a horrific beast.
An interesting take.
I mean, take Clementine here. She's had a bad run of luck. She got depressed and sad and selfish and stole from people and drank too much and got into fights and pushed everyone away from her. And yet still she feels like the world is against her. Like, they're the problem. Isn't that ridiculously selfish? And beautiful?
What is the difference, then, to you between the selfishness of humans and the selfishness of kindred? Because you find one beautiful and the other to be repellent.
I don't really find the selfishness of kindred to be repellent.
But you do.
No,
because if you find that it's selfish for them to want to be a certain way and to try to hold themselves to their former image.
I don't think it's selfish. I think it's delusional. I think it's hypocritical. To pretend to still be human. I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the trappings of humanity. Don't get me wrong. I myself enjoy a drink. Cheers. I enjoy a dance. I enjoy a night of fun. Everything anyone else would. But to insist on pretending to be human, to be bound by the laws of humanity, is silly.
I agree with that. You know, bound by the laws of humanity, but what about choice?
Good question. Yeah. And he like flips out a knife and points it towards you, handle first. Yeah.
What is this for?
Kill Clementine.
I don't want to.
Why not?
Never had a taste for killing.
But it doesn't matter
A knife
to you.
down. What doesn't matter to me?
Killing.
No, it most certainly does.
Okay. Why?
I don't want to kill someone. It doesn't feel right for me to take a life or an unlife. I mean,
So, you don't want to kill humans or kindred or any...
I don't want to kill anyone.
I guess.
Some might consider that a weakness. I can imagine, especially among kindred. But it's just something that I don't feel comfortable doing.
Oh, you feed from them.
I do, carefully. And I attempt to make their lives more palatable. And able to continue.
Tess. Do you mind if I call you Tess? No Miss Aquila, no Tess Aquila, etc.
Quite fine.
Feel free to call me Nathan. Perfectly happy with that. And he stands up and he says, would you like to hear a story?
Sure. Enlighten me.
And he steps out into kind of the open area of the roof kind of patio area, and then holds out his hand, says, would you mind if I danced with Clementine? Unfortunately, she's still under your purvey, so...
Yes. Fine. I suppose. Clementine, please go dance with Nathan.
Clementine gets up, still very robotically, and goes over and kind of assumes and he does, the kind of ballroom, and there's he will actually very quickly pull out his walkie-talkie and be like, maestro, music please, and then music comes over similar to this. And they start kind of doing a kind of foxtrotty waltz type thing back and forth. Says, I had a sire, as many people had. Virtually all of us did. He was the one who taught me to love humanity. And I did. I protected them. And I made sure that they were safe. And he was a good person. Jobs, free housing. He was a rich man, and everything he could do, he did do. He's kind of swaying with her, going kind of back and forth. Do you know what happened to him?
I believe you're going to tell me.
I am. He was killed by humans.
A shame.
Still kind of going back and forward, back and forward. And that's when I realized, even though I loved him, I still loved humanity. Because it's not just the good. I realized that he wasn't being human. Do you understand me? He was trying to be something more than human. And I loved him for that, but also I hated him for that. Because it's not something I could do. Because
Why not?
Well, because I killed all of them. The ones who came and found him and chained him down to his bed and burned his house down, and I tracked them all down and I killed them.
Interesting revenge story.
I didn't hate them or blame them, but I realized no matter how much you love humanity, humanity is never going to love us. And that's fine. But it's always going to be a danger. It's always going to be sitting there waiting for us. And he kind of starts dancing off towards the side of the roof. So, we talked about choices.
Don't.
And he, as the music like fades out, apologies, as the music fades out, he like spins with Clementine, and she kind of goes and then hits the roof, like her feet hit the roof, like the edge of the roof, and then she's dangling. Now, you have a choice. Because she's wanted to die since I met her, so I'm just doing what she wants.
You think you're doing her a favor.
I don't think I'm doing anyone a favor. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen.
At what cost?
No cost. So, when I let go, she's going to fall. And I don't believe you're quick enough to get to her. Not from where you're sitting. She'll probably die reasonably quickly once she hits the ground. If you get down there quick enough, you can maybe save her.
Now, are you testing humanity now, or are you testing me? Because if I'm the monster that you think that we all are, you're not interested in humanity anymore.
Maybe.
And what do you expect to happen?
I expect you to let her die. Because even though you want to save her, you don't want the responsibility. And she's just a problem that's never going to go away. And then he lets her hand go, and she goes...
Fuck.
And you hear, like, you don't hear like a scream or anything, but there's like a couple of seconds that are...
Yeah.
And then he kind of puts his hands out in like a... there you go type of way. And the music starts back up. You've probably got a minute at max.
I can't.
Do you want a moment to think?
Give me like 2 seconds here.
Sure. Wait, we'll
Tess is gonna remain sitting and not moving.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wanted to stop the music for while you're thinking.
No,
but,
it's okay. It's
yeah.
it's all good. I was just gonna keep staring at Nathan. Suppose you were right then.
And he comes back and sits down. So what are you doing for the rest of the day? Or night?
I'm going to be making sure I convince myself that I'm not the one who killed her.
Oh, I definitely killed her. And maybe it would have been worse for her to be a Kindred. That's the real thing you gotta wonder. She didn't have a good life before, she made horrible choices. She probably would have been a terrible Kindred. She's probably still alive for a little bit longer, but, you know, she's bleeding out. I'm sure you'll hear an ambulance soon as well. Oh, sorry. Do you mind if 1 second? Just,
Sure. Why not?
We appear to have another jumper off the building. If you could call the ambulance. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Another?
Hmm?
Another jumper.
Hmm.
Popular spot for jumpers?
You'd be surprised.
I don't think I am. How many?
What, here?
Sure.
4. 5 now.
Humanity, huh? Can't live with them. Can't turn them.
You can.
Well,
If you're feeling some pity or remorse, you could... Maybe if you jumped off the building and landed there, you could maybe still save.
good luck in your businesses, Mr. Fortuna. And I'm going to take the knife with me.
Yeah.
Flip it closed. And walk away.
He, like, stands up and holds his hand out. Miss Aquila? To shake hands, not for the knife.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll shake his hand.
Shakes your hand. It has been a pleasure to meet you, and I look forward to us meeting again. Sincerely.
I'm sure. And I'll turn and walk away. And leave.
Okay. And you walk down the stairs. And out the door. And
I'm not even gonna look to see. I can't.
And you head back to the
I'm gonna
salon.
head back to the coterie. Yeah, back to the salon.
Down to the basement where you were met by 2 men, dark-skinned, who apparently have been waiting for you. And we know what happens there.
Yep.